Hi folks, how are ya? My name is George Sue and I'm with Memphis Blues Barbecue House. This is my partner.
Hi, I'm Park Heffelfinger, and George and I met in the mid-90s. We went to Memphis on an unrelated trip, but we ended up falling in love with barbecue. And so...
with barbecue, not with each other.
Not with each other, no. We're together, but we're not together.
Exactly.
We came back with some recipes, and this is an all-purpose dry rub that we've got that we use on all of our pork products.
You know what, I always start out with a rub because the rub adds, obviously, seasoning, flavor. You can use it on almost anything. It's a great seasoning, all right? You can put it in soups, salads, you could cook with it.
So we have equal parts of sugar, dried parsley flakes, seasoned salt, paprika. Now this is mild paprika.
Do not use fresh ingredients. They all have to be dried ingredients because the fresh ingredients will clump together and they'll deteriorate. Whereas if you put all those dry ingredients together, mix it well, put it in a Tupperware container, and it's good for 6 months.
And then smaller amounts of dried oregano, cayenne pepper, mild mustard powder, celery salt, black pepper, and then onion and garlic powder. Make sure it's onion powder, not onion flakes. So it has to be very fine. And then it's really simple. All you do is mix it with your hands or a spoon or whatever you like. And you'll see it comes out to a kind of a nice pink, even grain consistency. And that's a basic all-purpose dry rub for pork.
We use 5-inch cut. It's called a St. Louis cut. We use side ribs because they're meatier. It's got a little bit more fat, but remember, this rack has to go in there for 4.5 hours into the pit, and a lot of the fat will be rendered out, all right? I mean, we do a lot of pork here, and you know, pork I think is one of the most versatile meats around, and it's delicious. It's good for you. So I'm just gonna take a little scoop of dry rub here, and you can be very liberal with it. Remember, it's seasoning it, and it's gonna be this little protective crust. Here you go. Real simple. You don't need to let it sit. You don't need to have it marinate overnight or anything like that. You can rub it, and away you go within like minutes. Like right now, this could go on your home barbecue. Okay, so here's the rack of ribs that we had seasoned earlier and we had put in the pit. So this is like 3.5, 4 hours later. As you can see, it's formed a nice crust from all the seasoning. And there's a trick here when you're cutting it. You want to flip it backwards so you can actually see which way the bones are going. So when you're cutting, you have a clear cut in between each bone. Now I'm going to just take the tail end off because these are side ribs, and that's the end that doesn't have a bone in it. So I'm just going to cut a couple of ribs here and show you between each rib. Look at that, because I can get right through and not miss any of the meat or the bone by doing it that way, okay? Look at that nice pink crust here. Now that's what we call a smoke ring, and that's what happens when the moisture and the protein in the pork absorbs the smoke. Everything is so soft right now and so easy. So I'm just gonna start plating some of them. We're serving the ribs here with 2 different sauces, the red Memphis style sauce and the yellow Carolina mustard, just to give it some contrast here.
So beautiful, succulent, moist on the inside, crusty on the outside. That's where our passion for pork comes from.